For years, the existence of highly advanced unidentified aerial objects has been debated among experts, military personnel, and enthusiasts alike. These objects, commonly referred to as UFOs, have transitioned from speculation to mainstream discussion, particularly following the release of declassified military footage and increasing testimony from credible sources. Among the more controversial claims in this realm are those made by the hacking collective Anonymous, who assert that the United States government's reluctance to fully disclose information about UFOs stems not from ignorance, but from concern over the implications these phenomena have for national security. Specifically, Anonymous has claimed that the real reason the government will not admit to the true nature of these aerial objects is that they possess the ability to interfere with, and even disable, nuclear weapon systems, leaving the United States and other nuclear-armed nations defenseless against their power. These claims, while shocking, gain credibility when viewed in the context of repeated sightings and interactions with unidentified aerial phenomena near sensitive military and nuclear sites. Over the last several decades, and especially in recent years, military personnel have reported an increasing number of encounters with objects that defy conventional explanations. These sightings often involve drones or aerial spheres that move silently, hover motionless, and accelerate at unimaginable speeds. Unlike traditional aircraft, these objects lack visible wings, rotors, or exhaust systems. They maneuver with such precision and agility that even the most advanced fighter jets are unable to keep up with them. What makes these sightings even more compelling is that many of them have occurred over or near nuclear installations, missile silos, power plants, and weapons storage facilities. In numerous cases, personnel stationed at these sites have reported not only sightings of unidentified objects, but also malfunctions in electronic equipment, communication systems, and missile control interfaces. These unexplained disruptions have led to speculation that the objects possess some form of advanced electromagnetic or technological capability that can interfere with or temporarily disable even the most secure military systems. According to Anonymous and military insiders, this interference is not accidental, but intentional, a demonstration of technological superiority that renders humanity's most powerful weapons ineffective. This assertion aligns with reports from former military officers and intelligence insiders, some of whom have testified before government committees or spoken publicly about these phenomena. Their accounts frequently include instances where UFOs were able to shut down nuclear warheads or trigger fault signals in launch systems, only for everything to return to normal after the objects disappeared. If true, this would suggest that whoever or whatever controls these objects has a vested interest in monitoring or limiting the use of nuclear weapons, a conclusion that could carry profound implications for global security and diplomacy. Despite the mounting evidence and testimony, official government statements remain vague and non-committal. While there has been some acknowledgement that these unidentified objects exist and that they do not match any known aerial technologies, authorities have stopped short of making definitive claims about their origin or capabilities. According to insiders, this strategic ambiguity is not due to a lack of information, but rather a deliberate effort to prevent public panic. The fear is that if it were openly admitted that these objects can interfere with national defense systems and that there is no known way to prevent it, it would lead to widespread concern, loss of confidence in government institutions, and potentially destabilize public order. The psychological impact of such a revelation cannot be underestimated. For many, the knowledge that humanity might be powerless against a superior force, whether extraterrestrial or highly advanced in technological terms, would be deeply unsettling. In this context, it becomes easier to understand why governments might choose to withhold or downplay certain information, even in democratic societies that typically value transparency. Furthermore, many of the objects reported appear to operate using principles that defy current understanding of physics. Eyewitness accounts and video footage describe objects that can stop instantly mid-air, change direction without any visible means of propulsion, and accelerate at rates that would crush any known human pilot. These characteristics have led some researchers to suggest that these objects might be using advanced propulsion methods such as anti-gravity or field manipulation, concepts that remain speculative and unverified in mainstream science, but which have long been of interest in classified defense research. One of the most perplexing features of these aerial objects is their ability to evade detection. Traditional radar systems often fail to track them, and they can appear and disappear seemingly at will. Even infrared and thermal imaging systems sometimes show no consistent signature, making them effectively invisible to most forms of surveillance. This level of stealth suggests a mastery of materials and energy control far beyond current aerospace engineering. If these objects are indeed man-made, they would represent a leap in technological development that surpasses all publicly acknowledged progress by several generations. Adding to the enigma is the global nature of the phenomenon. These objects are not limited to US airspace. Similar sightings have been reported by military forces and civilian pilots in numerous countries, including Russia, China, the United Kingdom, and Brazil. Regardless of the location, the objects exhibit the same capabilities: extreme speed, silent movement, rapid acceleration, and electronic interference. This consistency suggests a shared origin or design philosophy, which only deepens the mystery surrounding their existence. If, as many suggest, the government has been aware of these capabilities for decades, then the implications are even more serious. It would mean that successive administrations have knowingly concealed the vulnerability of strategic defense systems, possibly out of fear that disclosure would reveal not only the existence of these objects, but also humanity's inability to respond effectively. This scenario aligns with broader historical trends, in which information related to national security is often withheld from the public until it can be framed in a manageable or reassuring way. The concept of UFOs disabling nuclear weapons also challenges the traditional balance of power among nations. Nuclear deterrence has long been the cornerstone of global military strategy, based on the idea that no nation would initiate a nuclear attack knowing it would face guaranteed retaliation. If this deterrence is rendered ineffective by external interference, it could force a fundamental rethinking of global defense doctrine. It also raises ethical questions about the role and responsibility of these unidentified entities. If they possess such power, why are they intervening? Regardless of their origin, the increasing frequency of these encounters has made it harder for governments to ignore or explain them away. The public's demand for transparency is growing, fueled by a combination of declassified documents, pilot testimony, and investigative journalism. Whistleblowers continue to emerge, some protected by recent legislation, stating that not only does the government know more than it admits, but that efforts have been made to recover and reverse engineer some of these objects. While definitive proof remains elusive, the accumulation of credible evidence continues to build momentum toward full disclosure. Anonymous claim that the United States fears acknowledging the truth because of the disabling of nuclear systems may seem dramatic, but it is grounded in patterns of behavior observed within military and intelligence communities. When faced with an unknown force that can bypass or neutralize even the most advanced technologies, denial and obfuscation may appear to be the safest path. Yet, as more information comes to light, the public is increasingly unwilling to accept vague assurances and incomplete explanations. In conclusion, the mystery of these advanced aerial objects continues to grow, and the implications of their capabilities are profound. If, as Anonymous alleges, they can disable nuclear weapons and operate without interference, then the world may be facing a phenomenon that transcends national borders, technological understanding, and traditional frameworks of power. Whether these objects originate from a foreign adversary, a non-human intelligence, or an undiscovered natural phenomenon, the need for open, honest inquiry has never been greater. The stakes are not only technological or military, they are existential, challenging humanity to confront a reality that may be far more complex and interconnected than previously imagined.
I got news for the federal government. Drones are still flying over New Jersey. They were flying over my house on Tuesday night, and they were flying over my house on Wednesday night. Drones are still flying here, so when they use the past tense, that's alarming.
Michael Melham, the mayor of Belleville, New Jersey, has made headlines after publicly expressing his doubts about the White House's recent statement regarding the UFO drones spotted over the United States. The official explanation given by government officials was that these unidentified aerial objects were all authorized flights conducted by the Federal Aviation Administration. However, Melham insists that this claim does not add up. He revealed that he personally witnessed one of these mysterious drones hovering over his home just days ago, and his first-hand experience has led him to question the credibility of the government's response. his skepticism echoes the concerns of many who have been following the UFO drone situation closely. If the Federal Aviation Administration truly had knowledge of these drones and had authorized their presence in US airspace, why did it take them so long to inform the public? The fact that it was only after widespread reports and growing concern that the government suddenly released a vague, unverified explanation has left many wondering if this is yet another cover-up attempt. Mayor Melham's refusal to accept the official narrative is adding fuel to the speculation that these drones are not what the government claims them to be. Melham has emphasized that what he saw above his house was unlike any conventional drone he had ever encountered before. He described the object as being eerily silent, lacking visible propellers or any standard form of propulsion. This aligns with other eyewitness reports that describe smooth, controlled movements, erratic changes in direction, and even the ability to hover in place without making a sound. Such capabilities do not match commercial drones or even high-end military UAVs, raising even more questions about their true nature and origin. The most perplexing aspect of this situation is the delayed response from the government. If the Federal Aviation Administration was aware of these drones all along, why did they not issue an immediate statement reassuring the public? Instead, citizens, pilots, and even military personnel were left in the dark as these mysterious objects appeared over cities, military bases, and even near Air Force One. This lack of transparency is deeply concerning to many, as it suggests that either the Federal Aviation Administration was not actually in control of these drones, or that there was a deliberate effort to keep their presence hidden. Adding to the controversy, many experts have pointed out that the behavior of these UFO drones does not match that of authorized Federal Aviation Administration test flights. Normally, when the Federal Aviation Administration conducts aerial tests, there are clear flight paths, designated no-fly zones, and official documentation that can be easily accessed. In this case, none of that exists. Instead, what has been reported are erratic flight patterns, unpredictable movement, and multiple instances of these objects appearing in restricted airspace with no prior warning. Mayor Melham's testimony directly challenges the official narrative, and his first-hand account has emboldened others who believe that the government is not being truthful about the nature of these drones. The theory that these objects might not be human-made is gaining traction, particularly given the fact that high-ranking military officials have openly admitted that many of these sightings remain unexplained. The US government has repeatedly acknowledged that unidentified aerial phenomena have been detected that demonstrate technology far beyond our known capabilities. The drones seen over New Jersey and other locations bear striking similarities to the UFO orbs described by military pilots, particularly in their lack of visible propulsion, their ability to evade radar detection, and their highly advanced maneuverability. This is where skepticism grows even stronger. If these drones were just standard Federal Aviation Administration-approved aircraft, why are they behaving in ways that even the world's most advanced fighter jets struggle to keep up with? Mayor Melham's experience suggests that these objects are far more than routine government test drones. Instead, they appear to be something unknown, something that defies current technological explanations. His refusal to accept the official explanation has resonated with many in the UFO research community, as well as with everyday citizens who have witnessed similar unexplained objects in recent months. Many have praised Melham for standing his ground and challenging the narrative that the government wants the public to believe. His comments also highlight a growing frustration with how information is being handled, as people demand more transparency, more evidence, and fewer vague statements that only raise more questions. The FAA's sudden claim of responsibility appears to be an attempt to put the issue to rest, but instead it has only amplified suspicion. If this were truly a case of government-sanctioned drone activity, then why are so many high-ranking officials, including military insiders, still hesitant to explain what these objects actually are? Why is there no concrete data, flight records, or detailed reports proving their origin? These are the questions that Mayor Melham and others are demanding answers to. As the mystery surrounding these UFO drones deepens, many believe that we are witnessing a pivotal moment in UFO disclosure. More public officials are beginning to speak out, and the government is being forced to address these sightings in ways they never have before. The fact that an elected mayor is now questioning the credibility of the federal government's response shows that this phenomenon is not going away. The truth remains elusive, but what is clear is that Mayor Michael Mellum is not backing down. His first-hand experience, combined with the growing number of witnesses who have seen these mysterious drones, is forcing the government to reconsider its approach to handling UFO-related events. If there is more to this story than what the public is being told, it is only a matter of time before the full truth is revealed. The UFO drones seen hovering over the United States continue to be a mystery, despite government efforts to explain them away. Many eyewitnesses and military officials have reported that these objects do not resemble conventional aircraft, nor do they behave in ways that match any known drone or aircraft technology. What makes these sightings particularly baffling is that these drones appear to have no visible means of propulsion, yet they move in ways that defy the laws of aerodynamics. As the phenomenon continues to unfold, many are left wondering what exactly these objects are and who or what is controlling them. For years, the existence of highly advanced unidentified aerial objects has been debated among experts and enthusiasts. However, recent sightings of these strange drones over military installations, nuclear facilities, and restricted airspace have reignited the discussion, pushing the topic further into the mainstream. Videos and eyewitness accounts describe silent, hovering spheres or metallic, egg-shaped objects that appear to move without wings, rotors, or jet propulsion systems. They accelerate instantly, change direction abruptly, and seem to operate outside the limits of known physics. These characteristics have led many to believe that whatever these drones are, they are not ordinary government surveillance equipment. One of the most perplexing aspects of these UFO drones is their ability to evade radar detection. Many of these sightings have been reported by military personnel, pilots, and government officials, yet traditional radar systems often fail to track them properly. If these were simply classified military drones, they would likely still produce some kind of detectable signature, such as infrared emissions or radio signals. Instead, these objects seem to disappear from radar screens at will, leading to speculation that they possess some form of advanced stealth technology that goes beyond anything publicly known. Adding to the mystery, there have been multiple cases where these UFO drones directly interacted with military aircraft. In some instances, fighter jets have been scrambled to intercept these objects, only for the pilots to report that the drones outmaneuvered them effortlessly. Pilots have described how these objects can come to a complete stop mid-air, rotate in place, then shoot off at impossible speeds without any visible thrust. This is far beyond the capabilities of even the most advanced hypersonic aircraft or experimental propulsion systems currently being developed by military programs. Government officials have attempted to explain away these sightings, claiming that the drones were part of FAA-authorized tests or classified operations. However, these explanations have failed to satisfy those who have witnessed the objects firsthand. If these drones were truly government-sanctioned, why were military personnel and pilots not informed ahead of time? Why were fighter jets scrambled to intercept them as if they were unknown threats? The lack of clear documentation or transparency surrounding these objects has only fueled more suspicion that the truth is being hidden from the public. The lack of visible propulsion or exhaust also suggests that these objects could be utilizing an unknown or highly advanced energy source. Traditional aircraft rely on combustion engines, jet propulsion, or rotor blades to generate lift and thrust, but these UFO drones do not exhibit any of these characteristics. Some researchers have theorized that they could be operating on anti-gravity technology, a concept long considered theoretical, but one that has been explored in classified military projects. If such technology does exist, it would represent a paradigm shift in aerospace engineering, and it would explain why these objects can hover effortlessly and accelerate without inertia. Many of these sightings have occurred near sensitive military sites, particularly those associated with nuclear technology. There have been multiple reports of these UFO drones hovering over nuclear missile silos, power plants, and weapons storage facilities, prompting serious security concerns. In some cases, personnel have even reported electronic disruptions and unexplained power failures during these encounters. If these drones are simply foreign surveillance devices, they represent a major national security risk, yet there has been no confirmation that they belong to any known adversary.